Hello everyone, Michael Ferrara here, and today we'll be talking about your Medicare and how to protect yourself against being a victim of identity theft. So, what is medical identity theft? Well, medical identity theft occurs when someone steals your personal information, like your name, social security number, or Medicare number to obtain medical care, buy drugs, or submit fake billings to Medicare in your name. Medical identity theft can disrupt your life, damage your credit rating, and waste taxpayers' dollars. The damage can be life-threatening to you if the wrong information ends up in your personal medical records. Just think about that for a moment. Let's say someone uses your information to be treated for diabetes, and you in fact don't have diabetes. Now, that's in your permanent medical records. Can you just imagine what could happen if something were to happen to you, that you had to go to the emergency room and then you were treated for diabetes that you don't have? This could be game over for you. Identity theft isn't someone just steals your credit card information anymore. It's much, much worse than that. If you look at the type of identity theft, we can see that your information is what they want the most. In fact, 49.2% of all identity theft is someone using your personal information, such as your driver's license number, social security number, medical records, passport information, and anything else with your personal information on it. Credit card theft is less than 6%, and banks are pretty good at taking care of these nowadays. Let's take a look at data breaches, which seems to be all over the news nowadays, with almost every major company being breached, such as Target, Home Depot, U.S. Department of Justice, which on February 9th, 2016, hackers released data on 10,000 Department of Homeland Security employees, and then the very next day released data on 20,000 FBI employees. The IRS was breached back in May of 2015, stating that 100,000 taxpayers' personal information was compromised. Snapchat had its employees' information stolen. Verizon had 1.5 million customers' information stolen and then were later found for sale on an underground cybercrime forum. Yahoo announced that 1 billion user accounts were stolen, which included the usernames, security questions, and other personal information that related to their user accounts. Your typical credit monitoring service isn't monitoring and protecting your personal information, which is what identity thieves want the most. As you can see, identity theft is a big deal, and it should be taken seriously. It's a huge issue. In fact, it's gotten bigger and bigger each of the last 17 years. It is repeatedly one of the top complaints of the Federal Trade Commission, and it gets bigger and bigger each year. Identity theft is not going away, it's just getting worse. We used to just talk about credit card fraud. Someone would get your credit card information and make purchases on your credit card, but that is just a small part of what we now call identity theft. We now have social security fraud. Someone taking your social security information and opening up new accounts, buying homes, applying for jobs, and so forth and so on. Driver's license fraud. Committing crimes and getting tickets in your name. Now, how scary is that? Just imagine being pulled over and then arrested for not showing up to your court date that you had no idea even existed. Medical fraud. We talked about this earlier, but this is a big one. People are actually stealing your medical insurance information, in some cases going in and having surgeries performed. Just imagine one day going into your doctor and he says, it sounds like you have a problem with your gallbladder, but according to your medical records, you don't have one. There are a lot of problems with this, and people are getting stuck with the medical bills as well as the false medical information, which can be life-threatening. Criminal and character fraud, it's rampant. Tax return fraud. In fact, the IRS now is repeatedly sending out special notices around tax time. Someone's identity is stolen every 6 seconds. Did you notice that while we were talking here, our friend Sample Brett had his identity stolen? Listen, our information is out there. No matter how safe we think we are, our personal information has been entered into a database somewhere, just waiting to be used. There are a lot of monitoring services in the marketplace to tell you when it's happened. The problem is, when it does happen, and statistics say it's just a matter of when your identity is stolen, how do you get it back? How do you get it fixed? See, that is the key difference with our identity theft protection. We have the #1 identity theft protection and restoration service in the world. It's called ID Shield, which is available through a mobile app right in the palm of your hand. We're going to give you privacy and security monitoring to help you identify when those things happen. Access to your credit score, again, it's all through your mobile app. You open up your ID Shield app, your credit score is right there on the first page along with any alerts. Alerts and push notifications. We allow you to decide what information you want us to monitor for you, such as your email addresses, social security number, telephone numbers, credit and debit cards, bank accounts, driver's license number, passports, medical IDs. We're even going to monitor your children's social security number. You're going to get unlimited consultations. We've already done more than 200,000 personal identity consultations. And your case and call history is right there on your phone. Just push a button to see all your previous call history. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, there's always someone on call for you. If you wake up in the middle of the night to get a drink and you get a notice on your phone that looks suspicious about possibly being identity fraud or something along those lines, you don't want to wait until the next day. You want help right then and there. You open up your phone, you push your ID Shield app, and right on your app you have a red button that says Emergency After Hours Support. You push that button and you have someone on the line right then and there to start taking care of you. See, here's the key difference. We restore your identity. When you are a member of ID Shield, we have comprehensive restoration. We've already done nearly 10,000 individual restorations where people's information has been compromised and then we restored their identities. See, we have a team of licensed private investigators that will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to clear your records from life. And we back it all with a $5 million service guarantee that's unmatched in the industry. Now, I'd like to share a quick video with you from Fox News on medical identity theft.
Troubling report on the growing problem of medical ID theft. Hackers are going after your medical records. In fact, according to one report, the health industry is the #1 focus of hackers, more than any other sector. Let's bring in Morgan Wright, cybersecurity analyst. Morgan, this was really surprising. I mean, you think, okay, shopping online, retail, we've heard about the big breaches at Target, for example. Why are medical records the focus of hackers?
Because, Jenna, they are the goose, they are the golden eggs that the goose has laid, whereas your records, your credit, and you know what? The market drives this. When you go onto these black market sites to buy records, credit card records sell for 50 cents to $1 a record. Medical records sell for $10 to $50 a record because it has your name, your date of birth, your address, your social security number, physical descriptors, even credit card data. So these have become the one place where the most information about you is usually collected. You don't get medical information, date of birth on your credit card information, but you get all of that in your health record. So that's why they're targeting it.
You know, in preparing for this segment, it's not even just about the hacking, going into a system and infiltrating it and getting your information. Apparently, medical professionals are carrying around our data in little thumb drives, and that's just, people are able to steal that. Morgan,
yes.
What can consumers do if we're not only vulnerable online, but we have people carrying around our information and we don't even know that they're doing that?
Well, look, Albert Einstein said one time there's only two things that are infinite, the universe and stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. When people are doing stupid things like this, and I do mean they're stupid, you're carrying around on unencrypted thumb drives people's medical information, their histories and stuff. Unfortunately for consumers, they can't do anything till after the fact, which is usually sue. There's some things they can do proactively, which is have good identity theft, have good monitoring, have restoration. But unfortunately, because they have to give that information to get services, there's very little that they can do until after the fact. But what they can do, and you'll see it, there'll be litigation, there'll be lawsuits, there'll probably be legislation. That's what happens after the fact. That's what consumers do when they're wrong. But preventing it beforehand becomes tough.
We were talking to an identity theft expert a few months ago who reminded us that we really don't have to give our social security number to our doctor, which I thought was interesting. It's a good reminder on that.
Right.
What about paying for those services that are supposed to be watching your identity, Morgan? Do you think that's worth the value? Is that valuable to a consumer?
It is, and it depends on what you do. Look, I mean, I've got identity insurance through Kroll and through Legal Shield, And because it has restoration, it's not just monitoring, because you have to monitor more than your credit cards, which is only about 17% of it. It's your medical identity theft, it's your bank accounts, your passport, all of these different things. So if you put a robust plan in place, you at least have some defenses against that. But unfortunately, look, one of the things before I always come on air, I always want to do some research. A couple days ago, Symantec released a big report called the Internet Security Threat Report. Healthcare attacks were up 25%. You're saying targeted more than any other industry. That's what forms the basis for a lot of this identity theft going on, because the more breaches there are of all this kind of information, it only means that right now, 1 out of every 2 seconds, somebody becomes a victim of identity theft. That means this year, Jenna, 1 out of every 18 to 20 people in the U.S. will become a victim, and a lot of that will become from the 99 million records that have been breached so far this year.
Wow.
That are all medical records.
When it comes to the medical records, not only are birth dates, social security numbers, but also just the content of it, Morgan.
Yes.
Is that valuable to hackers?
Absolutely.
And how so?
Because a lot of times people want to get services, so they want to get medical services. So the more that they know about you, one lady that I know that lives not too far from me, when her husband died unexpectedly, they found out that his identity was used 10 times to go to local area hospitals to receive services, and he had to have more information than just a name and a date of birth. So this actually creates identity theft because it takes longer, and medical identity theft because it takes longer to investigate, it's harder to detect, and those services cost you far more than a $200 pair of shoes.
It always makes me nervous to talk to you, Morgan. I always enjoy it.
Sorry,
but the topics, they're really unnerving, and it's important that we just kind of raise awareness, if you will, that this is actually happening. Great to have you, Morgan. We look forward to having you back. Thank you.
You bet, Jenna. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Pretty scary stuff when you really think about someone else using your information to be treated in the hospital. This is a very serious issue, and I encourage you to take this threat seriously and to put a shield around your identity today. ID Shield is only $19.95 per month for a family, or $9.95 a month for an individual. Enrollment only takes 10 minutes and can be completed right over the phone. Give us a call at 815-254-0340, or you can enroll right online at www.ferraraservices.com. I want to personally thank you for taking the time to watch our presentation today. I hope this information was useful to you. I hope you take identity theft seriously and protect yourself today. If you have any question on your Medicare benefits or protecting your identity, give me a call and I'll be happy to help in any way that I can. Please share this video with everyone you know. It could just save their life. I appreciate your time and I hope you have a great day. Again, my name is Michael Ferrara. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.